What's poppin' T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3, Episode 7 review. So, the episode begins, you guys, with the Russians attacking the Tate family goons. They are dropping them like flies. They don't stand a chance, honey. The Russians want revenge for the unaliving of one of their people. So, Monet, in the midst of all this, meets up with Gordo to tell him he need to fall back on cracking her son's back because she cannot risk Drew and the family finding out that she was the one that put him up to unaliving Lorenzo. But Gordo was like, girl, who you talking to? Like, I play a lot of games, but you and getting in my business with my boo thing ain't one of them, okay? I got a mama, and even she don't tell me who I can and cannot see, so you need to fall back. And he was like, basically, you need me as much as I need you. Like, you ain't running nothing at the end of the day, so we gonna do this my way, or you can hit the highway, home girl. And Monet was looking like, do you know who you talking to? Like, I am Monet Tejada. Okay? Like, don't play with me, little boy. Please don't play with me. Like, you new to this, but I'm true to this. So, Tariq asks Lauren to tell him what info the feds have on him. Because, you know, he ain't trying to go to jail. He too little. They gonna tear him up like brisket on a Sunday. And she like, you know, I just don't trust you, Tariq. I just don't know because you might have been involved with Effie and them trying to have me unalived. And he was like, girl, I told you I did not do it. Like, I need your help, Lauren. And he was like, you know, we both want our old lives back. You know what I'm saying? And I need you to do that. But like I said, she don't trust him. And I'm thinking the whole time, like, they ain't got cameras in that house to keep an eye on people that's in Woodsick to make sure they ain't, you know, contacting people they ain't got no business contacting, or they ain't got no tracker on that phone. Like, what is going on here? Like, some of this stuff just to me is like so far-fetched. But anywho, so at this point, Tariq is really messed up because he don't know what the feds got on him. Like, they could swoop down on him at any moment at this point. So he's really shook, and Lauren won't help him. So then we see Brayden cracking Kiki's back, honey. And she was like, oh my God, that was so good. I'm like, let me find out you got some swivel action, Brayden, some hip action. So after they get done having sex, he just kind of laying there looking all off into space. And she like, what's your problem? And he was like, you know, I thought me and Tariq would have, you know, been back bros at this point, but he still ain't messing with me. And at that point, she reveals that she know all about they little coffee business. And he was like, what you talking about? She was like, look, boy, okay, I ain't got time for this. I know about it. I'm fine with it. It don't even matter. So he admits to the fact that, yeah, they are doing that or whatever. But he was like, me and Tariq are business partners. You know, he came up with the idea, but I'm basically the one that executed it. So she was like, well, if you the one with the big ideas, then why are you sitting over here crying over Tariq? Like, make it make sense, girl. You don't need him. But I was like, hold up, wait a minute, little girl. You don't know about their dynamics. You just came into this, okay? He done gave you a little white peen, a little vanilla, almond extract, and you trying to come in between friends. I don't like her. She gotta go real quick. I don't like her. But it did plant a seed in Brayden's head to get him to thinking like, do I really need Tariq? Yeah, y'all need each other. So Monet calls a meeting with the crew to find out what the hell is going on with this Russian war, because she didn't know nothing about it until she talked to Gordo. And Kane is still on this, you know, power trip. You know, he done got a taste of being the leader, and he ain't trying to fall back from that. And I said that on last week's episode. And this season, I'm really liking new Kane. I'm like, okay, Kane, he got some balls about him, you know, some authority, you know. He looking good, smelling good. His jokes are impeccable. Baby, when he called Brayden Taylor Swift, I about died. Like, these little one-liners they got him saying this season are so good. So good and funny. So, Monet ends up getting frustrated and kicks everybody out the room. She was like, all y'all niggas can go. And Brayden was sitting there looking like, and and Kay was like, yeah, you a nigga too. He was like, oh, I am? Oh my God. Oh my God. Do I get a tiara and a sash? Like, oh my God, I'm a nigger too. Oh my God, it's such a privilege. I'm like, Brayden, get somewhere and sit down. So she talked to Tariq to find out like where his head at, because he's sitting up there off in La La Land, and he tells her about the fact that they went behind his back to unalive Lauren. And she was like, if she was wearing a wire, like, why do you care? Seems like they did you a favor, son. Like, what's the problem? And she was like, look, you my thinking person. I need for you to think. We ain't got time for all this days of our life soap opera crap that you on. So he, finally gets into the game and says, I can get it to whereas the Russian drugs are seized so they can't sell on our turf. And, that'll put us at an even playing field for a second. So she was like, bet. Now that's the Tariq that I need right about now. So Gordo brothers want a bigger cut in order to continue to help the Tejadas fight the Russians, because they was like, we ain't dying for free. And for this little deal that we already came with, like, bodies are dropping. Like, we gonna need more of an incentive. But Gordo was like, no, we'll talk about this later. Like, we gonna continue to help them. They like family, because he loving that little dangalang he been getting, served with, and he ain't trying to let that go. He trying to make sure him and his little boo thing keep it going. So Drew just sitting over there like the proud woman she is. Like, that's my man. I'm like, oh God, Drew, you are such a lost cause. So Sax ended up cussing out Jenny for lying to him about the Lauren situation. And I just need somebody to unalive Jenny real quick. She's annoying. She's pasty and annoying. So Sax wonders, did Lauren tip Tariq off about the investigation? But Jenny, thinking she know everything, was like, absolutely not. I know that she would never do that. Like, and I'm like, girl, he right the whole time. Why you thinking you know everything? You don't even know she got a secret phone. Obviously, like, you don't know nothing. Ugh. So Tariq gives Tate the info about the Russians, so he can get them. So he can use Tate to then give the information to the cops, so the cops can then seize the drugs, and then that'll make, Tate look good in the public. It'll help his campaign, so it's helping both of them out. And he ended up calling Davis after the fact and telling Davis that Sax is lying. He know about this investigation. Like, I'm telling you, I got on good authority that, this dude knows something, but he ain't got no concrete proof yet, but he's starting to become suspicious of the fact that Sax know what's going on. So Monet meets with Kai at the crib. He feeling on her. That's the little dude that played in the wood. And, he feeling her. He want a little bit of Monet. And I'm like, you do not want none of that, Black Widow. That is a tarantula. She will kill you at any moment. Drew come home. Drew don't like Kai or whatever. He, talking crazy at the mouth. Kai ended up leaving, and Monet was like, what is your problem? Like, we need all the allies that we can get at this moment. And he was like, I see how dude looking at you. Poppy ain't even been in the ground a hot minute. He already trying to get on you. And she was like, look, forget all that. Like, I can handle myself, but I need for you to get it together real quick. And she was like, and don't think I don't know about you and Gordo. And he was like, yeah, it's true. I just love him. I love him, and I'm going to stick beside him. Monet just looking at him like, you the daughter I never had. And so she makes sure that she tells him to always make sure that he is the one that got Gordo's ear and not his family, because, yeah, you might have him, but you ain't got the family. You know what I'm saying? So we then see Bruce Chandria, child, at the candy shop rapping. I liked it better when they just had Bruce Chandra being Bruce Chandra. Like, you didn't have to bring in any of light-skinned Keisha into her character, but whatever. So fake-ass Elijah Muhammad get up on stage and say a poem to Diana about being sorry. She run off into the stock room, and he come following behind her, and she was just like, I'm good on you. Like, I'm all right. And so since she turned him down, here he go being the puss ass nigga that we already knew he was from the jump. And was like, I know you dealing drugs or whatever, and I'm gonna figure out a way to tell on you since you don't want to be with me and you can't work here no more, and call her stupid and basically her family ghetto trash and this, that, and the third. And he was like, and I know you effing Tariq or whatever. And she slapped him, and he tell her to get her shit and get out. Get your shit and get out, child. And Diana's standing there looking crazy by the face. And I was like, I don't know why you had sex with this lame-o in the first place. So at this point, I now don't think that he is undercover. Don't think that anymore at all. But somebody else, I kind of had a little eye on. But I don't know if I was just tripping or not. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So Tariq ends up going to Effie's room and asking her for the picture of Noma's daughter so he can use that information to get Noma off their backs. And she was like, only if you let me back into the business. And he was like, why would I do that? Like, you went behind my back. And she was like, I did what I had to do for you, because your little punk pussy ass wasn't going to do it. And she was like, you know what? You are so effing weak. Like, it's pathetic, Tariq. And he was like, and you damaged goods, okay? And that really hurt her feelings. And she was like, F you, get out my room or whatever. He was like, I don't even know why I F with you in the first place. And I was like, ooh, wow. Y'all feelings is really hurt. Y'all really love each other, don't y'all? So Brayden finds this secret room at Weston Holdings where he's seeing like shredded paperwork, 2 sets of books and stuff. And he does research and learns that, yeah, somebody there are cooking the books. So Effie goes up on the rooftop at the school to get some, packages or whatever, and sees the camera, and she calls Kane and lets Kane know. So the Russians' drugs are in fact seized, and it makes Tate look great in the public eye. Jenny and fake-ass Angela figure out that Tariq was the one that set up the Russians, and fake-ass Angela bets that Tariq is the one that's selling out of Weston Holdings. They just trying to figure out how, in fact, he's doing it. So now they're going to start investigating Weston Holdings to figure out, like, how are they transporting drugs. So Kane meets up with Effie and gives her a pack, a key or whatever. And she was like, what am I going to do with this? Like, I need more than this to pay my tuition. And he offers to pay. And she was like, no, I'm not going to be your charity case. I'm not taking it. I'll figure it out on my own. And I was like, girl, this little woman empowerment act is cool. But girl, take that money. Nigga offering you bread. Get that bread, get that head, and leave. Like, girl, who turned down some money? Haven't you listened to the City Girls, Effie? Or you over there listening to Alicia Keys? Or Katy Perry? I am woman, hear me roar. Girl, sit down. So Kane just sitting there looking all sexy and chocolate. And I was like, shit, I'll take it. You ain't got to ask me twice. Kane can get it, honey, this season. So Monet reminds Diana when they speak on the phone that, look, girl, you are my daughter. Don't you ever let no nigga come at you sideways. Handle that real quick. She was like, you know what? You right. Thanks, mama. And it seems like Diana and Monet are getting close. You know what I'm saying? Actually building a mother-daughter relationship again. And I love that the writers are doing that, because when the truth comes out, it's going to make it even worse. But I just feel like they didn't even handle Lorenzo's death the way it should have been. Nobody's cried. There's like not any real emotion coming from any of the kids. Everybody just moving on like nothing happened. It's kind of really weird the way they wrote it. But after that, one of the undercover cops that's working with Jenny and fake ass Angela finds a coffee cup and finds a tracker thing or something that got to do with the drugs or whatever. Now, mind you, while the man is acting like a homeless person going through the trash, Tariq is literally across the street when he finds it. I don't know why they wrote that, because it's just so far-fetched and it's just so stupid that he would be standing directly across the street when the guy finds what he finds in the coffee cup. Like, they could have had that scene without Tariq standing there. There was really no point of having him standing there other than to make him look incompetent, and that was just dumb to me. So After that, Diana exposes Celine for really being some nigga named like Donald Duck or whatever, whatever the little nigga name is. He actually is adopted by some white folks. He grew up very rich, was an equestrian. His adoptive parents are Trump supporters, and she was like, I will blast you. All this, you talking about you was raised by a single mother and Black Panther this and Black Power that. Boy, get out of here. So he was like, all right, you got me, whatever. I won't say nothing. And she was like, yeah, and I'm going to need my job back with a raise, and you're going to hire some other people to work here too, because you don't even need the money. And I was like, see, you done gave your coochie up to a wannabe. That's why you can't date no nigga that do poems. How many times I've been telling y'all that over the years? Don't date no man that reads poetry, writes poetry, recites poetry. They are horrible people. They are users and manipulators. Don't do it. So after that, Monet and Drew and Kane go to meet Kai, and Monet was saying to Drew to stay outside because, you know, him and Kai don't get along because she don't need him messing up nothing. And she tell Kane to have her back. And he was like, there you go again, trying to manipulate me to do whatever it is that you want me to do. And she was like, look, nigga, I ain't got time for this therapy session right now. We can talk to Iyanla later. But right now, I just need you to have my back and be on point, okay? And just follow my lead. So she go inside, she meet with Kai, and she telling him that she know she want them to work together. And, you know, if they work together, she'll give him what he always been wanting, which is her. So they then go in for a kiss. And this is where Mary J. Blige really needs to work on her acting, because I have been applauding her all season because her acting has come so far this season. But she still is so very uncomfortable when it comes to romantic scenes. Like, as soon as it was time for her to pretend like she was going to kiss him, you saw her body tense up. It looked like she was acting. It looked forced. She just really needs to work on her intimacy levels on camera, because she always looks tense and uncomfortable. And it reads, oh, this is a scene. Like, you know, it just takes us out of the moment. So right when they get ready to kiss, they hear gunshots and dudes stand up. Monet didn't take out a pocket knife and go to stab him, but he catches her, and he was like, you old distrustful ass, thieving ass, raggedy ass, bum ass bitch. And they tussling or whatever, and it's looking like it's about to be curtains for Monet. And then Kane comes in and saves the day and shoots dude in the head, and he's pow dead. But before Kane came into the room, Monet was able to take the phone and no, I'm sorry. So after Kane shoots the dude, she told Kane to go check on Drew. So when he left the room, that's when she took Kai's phone and text Gordo's number saying, I think they know that we had Lorenzo killed or whatever. So she set it up to make it seem like it was Kai and Gordo working together. But they didn't know whose number was the other person's phone, because remember, it was a burner phone or whatever. So it was the same burner phone that no, I'm sorry, I'm tripping. I'm getting two things mixed up. Anywho, so she set it up to make it seem like Kai was the one that helped whomever at this point kill Lorenzo, because they don't know who's on the other end of the phone. So Drew and them was like, I knew he wasn't about nothing. We gonna find out who the other person is, da 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 da. So Kane ends up paying Effie's tuition in full for the term, and she texts him, F you, I told you I wasn't gonna be your charity case. And he responded back, you welcome. And they got her panties all moist, and she gonna pull him to the side and let him slide through real quick and real soon, because I would have been like, you want to meet up for lunch? I wouldn't have hesitated, honey, because he looked like he gonna give you some strong D. Tariq still looking like he and be done. Like, he don't even look like he eat the monkey or nothing. Like, Tariq still look like a little kid trying to have sex. Whereas Kane gonna smack it up, flip it up, and rub it down. Oh no, okay? So Monet and Drew and Kane end up giving Kai's head to the Russians. Like, you know, he pit us against each other. It was a setup. Can we call a truce? That the Russians was like, yeah. So Monet 2 for 2 at this point. She getting it done. Theo is released from jail, but he mad at his brother for doing it illegally, because he was like, I done been in jail all these years, and then if you get locked up, it's going to be for nothing. And like, I ain't got time for that. Take me to this treatment facility and you stay the F away from me. So Jenny and Angela, fake Angela, have all the info they need now to bring up a RICO case against Tariq and the Tejadas. And the dude that was that went undercover, it was real funny to me how when they pulled out the photograph of Effie on the roof, he kind of looked at they had his character look at the picture and they focused the camera on him for a second, which made me feel like, are him and Effie related in some type of way? And he Mexican or Latino, is something there, because it was really weird the way they focused on the picture and then they zoomed the camera in on his character. Now, I don't think that he's like Effie's brother, because ain't Effie's brother dead or something like that, but it's something up with that character, y'all. So Drew and Gordo in the bed cuddling, child. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought we was going to be able to get through an episode without seeing this man in bed. Can you please get it in your contract for season 4, the man that played Drew, that no more sex scenes? Because I'm so tired of seeing you naked. Oh my God. That they have literally given this man like 12 sex scenes throughout the first 3 seasons of this show. We ain't seen Kane crack nobody back at this point. We finally saw Brayden get him a little taste. Tariq, they do little kitty shit with him. Can we, Method Man only had 1. We need to see that again. You know, Monet too frigid. You know, can we at least see Tate and Keisha Sharp get their thing on, something? I'm so tired of seeing Drew. Is he the only person that's gonna take one for the team with this show? And I'm like, oh my God, now he the girl in this relationship. Wasn't he the top in the last one? Now he the woman in this one, child. Just laid up all on Gordo's chest, rubbing his chest, putting hearts and shit on the man's chest. And I'm looking like, I know your booty hole is stretched out. Stretch Armstrong, child. I know he taking all the fleet to air out that system, child. Like, oh my God, he is a whore. So they laying up in bed. Gordo get up to go take a shower, and Drew ends up texting the number, I want to meet up, to the person that was on the other end of the line with Kai or whatever. And when he texts the number goes to the burner phone that, of course, is owned by Gordo. So he looking like, because he heard the phone buzz and he was like, what the fuck? So then he goes and checks the phone and realizes that the text that he just sent went to that phone. So that's when he put 2 and 2 together at this point that Gordo and Kai were working with each other. And so he was just like, oh my God, like I've been sleeping with the enemy this whole time. So he go and grab his thumper and was like, I trusted you. Pow. Kane come running up the steps. Drew, what's going on? And then he was like, he was the one that killed Poppy. And he was looking like, dang, homie. Dang, I ain't know it was your little boo thing. Monet come over to the house like, baby, I'm so sorry, or whatever. Drew all in his feelings. I'm like, didn't you just break up with the little basketball nigga 5 seconds ago and now you already in love with Gordo? Girl, what is going on? Like, oh, he get on my nerves. So Monet then did, now she 3 for 3 at this point. She done got it done. She got the heat off her, set it up to look like Gordo and Kai was the one that, you know, off Lorenzo. She got the Russians off their back. Like, things are great. Monet is back in business. Brayden then shows Kiki the fact that the books at the place is being cooked by somebody there. And she telling him, you know, I'll look into it, like, you know, it's not a big deal. And he was like, man, please, I'm about to go tell my uncle. So then he go tell his uncle, and the uncle was like, yeah, it's me, I'm doing it. He was like, do my dad know? He was like, no, your daddy don't know. And he was like, you're a criminal. And Kiki coming to office was like, ain't that rich coming from you? And he was like, you told him, I told you I wanted to talk to him. And he was like, Kiki, you ain't got to act no more. Kiki's in on it. And he looking like, dang, I can't even trust you. Like, you the ops too. And she was just like, you know, we don't have to lie to each other anymore. Like, we could just be who we are. And he was like, nah, I'm good. But they're going to end up getting back together in the first place. But his uncle was like, if you say anything, my jail will be way more comfortable than yours, because I'm going to go to federal prison where the white collar crimes go down, and you'll be in Sing Sing, okay? So he was like, you can't say nothing. So at this point, Brayden's back is up against the wall because he don't want to jeopardize his family's business. Then we see Tariq pay off a security guard to get into the building where Lauren is being taken for questioning. And Lauren goes to the women's bathroom and meets him in there, and he plays her the audio of him and Effie's conversation. So that was the real reason why he went in there to talk to Effie, was to get her on recording, admitting that she was the one that tried to unalive Lauren. So at this point now she believes him. And she was like, but it still don't matter because they building a RICO case against you and the Tejadas. And he was like, what? And she was like, yeah, home, you going down. So in that conversation, he learns that Saxe knows all about the investigation and that Saxe is a mole. So now he going to take that information back to Davis, and Davis going to be side-eyeing Saxe like, what have you been doing behind my back? So at the end of the episode, the Tejadas are, back together as a family. They have a family dinner. Monet is sitting at the head of the table. Things are exactly how she wants them to be when the feds bust into the door and end up arresting Diana because they had her on camera going on that rooftop, and end up arresting her for drug paraphernalia or whatever. And Monet was like, baby, I'm coming to get you. Like, don't worry about it. I'm on my way. And they take her out the house, and that's the end of the episode. Great ending. This was a really good episode as far as the way that they connected everything, as far as on Monet's end and how they had her execute everything to get things back the way that she wanted them to be. But the last piece that was missing was the fact that she didn't know that this Diana situation was on the table. So Diana is in the clinker, and now we got to get Diana out of jail, child, which is a mess. But overall, this was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. It was really entertaining. I'm going to give last night's episode of Power Book 2 Ghost, I'm going to give it an A. It was funny. I liked the intrigue, the espionage of it all. Really feeling it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.